Federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer speaking in Ottawa after what he called a frank discussion behind closed doors with members of his party. Some of the people in that room making it clear going in that they were not happy with losing the election, and they blame Scheer for it. Now, some people saying Scheer's social conservative values helped to lose the election. He was asked about that tonight, saying in response that he respects the rights of all Canadians, including LGBTQ citizens. He also said that Conservatives will communicate their message better next time, especially when it comes to climate change, although he notably did not put that on his priority list. The CBC's Ashley Burke in Ottawa has been listening in with us. Ashley, Scheer making it clear he intends on staying on as leader, but there will be a review of the campaign.
Exactly, and Andrew Scheer's job is safe for now. In that meeting that lasted 7 hours long, it was supposed to wrap up at 5 o'clock, there was a vote. And during that vote, the Conservative Caucus decided that they were not going to give themselves the power to call a leadership review. They said that instead they're going to be leaving that up to the grassroots level, about 1,000 members across the country that are going to be meeting in Toronto in April, where they'll be holding a vote on whether or not they want a leadership review. And the MPs there thought that that was the right decision to leave it up to them like they have in the past. A source that was inside that room told CBC News that the vote wasn't even close. So that was the overwhelming feeling in that room. So that review will happen in April. So Scheer has until then to convince people that he's the right man for the job to lead them into the next election. He came out of this meeting that ran long, and he said that
concluded our first meeting of the 44th.
He said that he had expected, it was much more conciliatory than usual, that he expected more this campaign from himself, including that he was disappointed about what happened, that they thought they would do better in Quebec and in Ontario, and that there will be a post-mortem looking at what went wrong throughout the campaign to kind of nail this down to move forward. And he also sort of deflected,
John Baird,
pivoting away from himself.
That will be led by John Baird, former Conservative cabinet minister under Stephen Harper.
Exactly, and what's interesting too is that he really deflected and tried to pivot away from himself when he was asked that if that leadership review didn't go well, and they did pinpoint that, you know, his leadership was a problem, would he step down? Scheer saying that that wasn't the point of the leadership review, that decision will come in April, but then kind of taking aim at Justin Trudeau, saying that if anyone should step down as leader, it's him because he lost his majority.
Yeah, as I understand it, the John Baird part of the issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, is going to look at the mechanics of what went wrong with the campaign, and the impression we get from the Conservative leader tonight is that it's not going to look at him.
Exactly, and it's going to be looking at what went right and what went wrong this election, but also talking to some of the leaders who lost their seats, lost their jobs, about what they think happened in their riding specifically. We also know that Hamish Marshall, who is the person who was the architect of this campaign, the campaign manager, that he's not going to be staying on. Now his role is over since the election is ended, and that he will be maybe one of the first people that they go to talk to him about what happened during this election, where he thinks there could have been improvements and really what was at play here.
Yeah, a lot of people pointed to what they saw as a lack of a credible climate plan from the Conservative Party. He addressed that tonight, but not, it was interesting, Ashley, not in the list of priorities. He said keeping Canada united and strong was a priority, helping Canadians get ahead was a priority, transparency in government was a priority, and getting the energy sector back to work. But he did not mention a climate plan until he was asked about it.
Yeah, and he said that when he was asked about it, he said that it definitely came up in that room behind those closed doors. They certainly talked about it, and that he felt they just weren't communicating their plan well enough to Canadians, and that they could lower emissions. But he was asked as well, you know, will you scrap the carbon tax? And he stuck with that, saying, no, I don't think any tax will solve that problem, and that no matter what, he will continue to oppose that carbon tax.
All right, the CBC's Ashley Burke live in Ottawa tonight. Ashley, thank you.
You're welcome.